doesn't hold its value. And if it doesn't work out for you, you're going to lose a good part of your money. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I am going to talk to you about the bags that I think do and don't hold their value for resale. This video was inspired by a video I watched recently from Cassie Thorpe, and in that video Cassie went through the types of bags she thought did and didn't hold their value, and it really made me just have an inner look, and it made me have a look at my own collection about what's in there and what would hold its value and maybe what wouldn't. I am so guilty for buying what I love. I love colour, I love fabric, I love things that are a little bit gaudy. I love a lot of things that a lot of people maybe might not buy. And I think that means there are quite a few of my bags that probably wouldn't hold all of their value, or maybe even a huge amount of their value. But I have to say that when I buy bags, I buy what I love. I buy what I look at and think, I have to have you. I just love you so much. So I'm going to go through with you today and have a look from my collection, the bags that I don't think would hold their value that much. And I'll have a quick look at the bags that I think would hold their value, but I think they're a little bit more obvious. So if we start with those, the bags that will hold their value, I think, to be honest, most of us that are handbag enthusiasts are going to know the top three sort of bags that we think are going to hold their value. And the first one is obviously going to be Hermes, and probably specifically the quota bags. So Hermes, Birkin, Kelly, and maybe also Constance. I don't know that much about Hermes to know about their lesser bags, the bags that are lesser sought after, like for example the Garden Party and the Bolide and the Evelyn. I don't know if they command such a high amount on the resale market as the Birkin and the Kelly and the Mini Kelly does. Certainly at the minute, the Mini Kelly and the Birkin 25 are maybe 3 times what you would pay for them. Obviously, that's not taking into account your pre-sale of anything you've bought with Hermes to be offered or given that bag, but obviously those ones are going to hold their value hugely. Also the classic flap. Now, I suppose there's exceptions to this, that there's going to be colours in the classic flap that probably won't hold their money just as well as others. There are going to be some colours that will go above what they would have been bought at retail. Also caviar or lambskin, whichever the person who is looking on the resale market's preference would be. But generally, I think classic flaps are a pretty good bet to hold your money. A black Chanel classic flap in the caviar leather in the silver hardware. Mine is in the medium large size. I did get the chain extended on mine. That might impact its resale value because you would need someone else that wanted the chain to be longer to be able to cross body. A lot of people might want to buy the classic flap as it is initially intended in its classic form with the chain as it came. For me though, this makes it so much more usable and I've no regrets at extending it. I'm not too worried about the resale value because I'm not intending to sell it, but this means I wear it and I wear it comfortably. This, I've no doubt I would get more than what I paid for, even with the adaptation, because I bought this a while ago and I think these are probably over £2,000 more now than what I paid for it, if not more. So the Chanel Classic Flap is obviously one that is going to hold its value. I also think Chanel Minis, especially in caviar, this one is in caviar, but in general Chanel Minis I think are going to hold their value. These are really hard to get your hands on now, especially in caviar since it's been discontinued. But even in lambskin as well, whenever they bring them out each season, there doesn't seem to be a huge amount of them released. And Chanel is trying, I think, to get a little bit more difficult to buy these classic styles. These are becoming less available and you will generally see these on the resale market above what the retail would be, especially certain colours and styles. Caviar being one, I think hold their value very, very well. There are also going to be extreme versions of that. This has just caught my eye, which is the rose gold mini from the 17C collection in caviar with the chevron print, and also I can see poking here the houndstooth tweed in the Chanel 19. You're also going to get versions that come out every so often, that, and the Pearl Mini, I don't have that, but the Pearl Mini is obviously one. You're going to get versions that come out every so often that probably weren't foreseen as being just as sought after and as unicorn, Dale and Connor will love that, status as what they maybe became, and they command huge amounts of money on the resale. The last Pearl Minis I saw being sold were 14-ish thousand sterling pounds, which is huge amount of money. So obviously there's exceptions to it that are going to go to the extreme version, but generally I think the Chanel Mini is a safe bet whenever it comes to resale value. You'll also get from Chanel seasonal pieces that generally I think, as long as they are close to a classic looking style, I think generally are going to retain their value quite well. This particular one, this bucket bag, is so sought after. This, I've no doubt, would sell for more than what it was retail. So there's also certain seasonal pieces from Chanel that I think will hold their value very, very well. There are some they bring out that maybe just aren't as popular, that maybe don't strike as chord with as many people, that maybe they produce more of, that maybe might not be just as good a bet as others, but certainly there are versions, like if you could get something like this, or some of the classic looking flaps, like Dior has the denim Chanel seasonal bag, which is very similar to a classic flap. Bags like that I think will definitely hold their value. The last example that I think holds its value very well is Louis Vuitton canvas, specifically Louis Vuitton canvas, for many reasons. One being the crazy price increases that keep coming. So you can buy these bags and within 6 months to a year on the retail price is so much significantly more than what you bought it for. So the crazy price increases from Louis Vuitton, specifically on canvas, they're hitting canvas hard nearly every single time there is an increase, I think buys in then to this really withholding market pressure and keeping its resale value, and its resale value being high, even higher than what it is that you actually paid for it. I also think Louis Vuitton are trying to limit the amount of canvas they put out. These, for a phase during lockdown, became a lot easier to buy than they used to be, but it can be hard to get your favourite canvas bag. This one, the multi-pochette, the nano speedy, they can be limited and can be difficult to get. That also leads in then to the resale value being high and them retaining their value. I also think generally the push that Louis Vuitton seem to be doing towards the leather, and I really like their leather bags, but I'll always love their canvas. And I think the push they're trying to make towards leather bags and away from canvas is also adding into the value these little guys are going to keep on the resale market. Those, I think, were probably the easier part of the video. Those are the bags that I think will retain their money and their value really quite well. We're now going to look at the bags in my collection, yay, that I don't think would hold that much resale value. Don't get me wrong, there would still be a lot of value in these bags, but compared to what I bought them at retail, I don't think they are going to recover all of their retail amount, and I don't think they're going to even hit 90% of it. I think there could be a loss on a lot of these bags, and they're bags that we see on the resale market that really just don't perform that well. And the first one is Fendi. Now, this is my latest beloved bag. I adore this bag. I saw on Instagram that 408 California has it. I really miss her YouTube videos. She was great. She has this bag. Caitlin Pulowski has this bag. Monroe Steele has this bag. This bag's fabulous. I absolutely love it. I love the colours. I love how fun it is. I love how bright it is. So obviously there's always going to be certain exceptions. I also think that the purple rain baguette that Dior has, that is the Sex and the City baguette, I think probably you would sell for more than what it is on retail because you can't get it, and a lot of people are going to be looking at it because it has the Sex and the City hype. This, I don't know if it would still hold all of its value or not, but I know there has been a bit of a buzz about this bag and people have been trying to get it. So obviously there's always exceptions, but generally Fendi bags do not hold their money that well. I recently sold the Fendi Montresor bucket bag and I sold it to buy this, and it didn't hold its resale value very well. There was quite a loss on that bag, and I had bought that bag from Fashionably Amy, so I had bought that bag for less than retail. So even though Amy lost a bit of her money on it when it got sold to me, I then lost money whenever it was sold on. So compared to the resale price, or the retail price, sorry, there probably was quite a loss on that bag. So Fendi in general, I just don't think holds its money the same as the bags we've already spoken about. If you look on the resale market at Fendi baguettes, Fendi peekaboos, Fendi Montresors, there's not as many of the Fendi First on the retail market just yet, but obviously a resale market, sorry, but obviously that's quite a new bag. Fendi, I think, is one just will not hold its value just that well. And again, I'm pulling all these investments from my own shelves behind me, and it's Dior. I have the saddlebag. traditionally doesn't really hold its value all that well. Now, I bought mine brand new because I wanted this specific colour and I wanted this specific version. Had I been a bit more open to a slightly different shade of red or burgundy or a very slightly different bag, I probably could have made a saving on the resale market. But I bought mine new, but I knew that going into it. I don't intend to sell it. Things might change. If I do sell it though, I know that I will probably take a loss on this bag. Also, traditionally, the Lady Dior does not have a great resale price. There are a couple of Lady Diors out at the minute in the new spring-summer collection that I really, really like. There is a very bright pink one with multicoloured hardware on it that I really like the look of, and I'll put a picture in. I also really like the micro ones. There's an orange one that's calling my name, but it's so tiny and I don't think my phone would fit in it. But I think if you're buying one of those, you have to think of it going in that you love it and you really, really love it and you want to keep it in your collection for as long as you can foresee, because the resale of the Lady Dior is really quite bad. Next, from my own beloved shelves behind me, is the Louis Vuitton twist. As much as I love this bag, the Louis Vuitton twist in general, I really, really like. It does not have a very good resale value. You can get quite a saving of these on the resale market. I used to have the in this bag, which is the bigger version. I had it in a burgundy in epi leather. I'll put a picture in, and I sold it on my recent vlog sale. Now, I sold it to a long-term subscriber who is a great supporter of my channel and my Instagram, and I was delighted to be able to sell it to them and give them a saving, because I knew they loved that bag. But I sold it, I think, for about half of the retail price, so about a 50% loss. Now, I had used that bag. I'd had it for a few years, but that bag was in excellent condition, apart from a few hairline scratches as you get on the lock, and you could see a little bit of creasing at this part of it where it had been opened. The bag was in fabulous condition and it was about 50% of the price. So these, as lovely as they are, don't really hold their value, and you might be able to pick up a good deal on the resale market. Next is one of my new beloved little beauties. I adore this bag so much so that I bought this one, and I sold a Chanel to buy that one, but I love it, and I love this one. Love it, love it, love it. You can get these for a saving on the resale market. Yeah. Luckily, I don't intend to sell mine, and luckily I bought it hoping that it stays in my collection forever and nothing bad happens that I have to sell them. I have used this bag. I feel fabulous using this bag. It is such a statement and such a talking point. So I really hope it's going nowhere, but they do not hold all of their value. You can get these for a bit of a saving, and not a bad saving, on the resale market. Just obviously check the condition or whatever. I did buy mine whenever we were in Paris, and at the time when I bought it, the exchange from sterling to euro worked in my favour. So I bought this bag for under retail because of the exchange saving, but I would have bought it anyway. I know, crazy. Absolutely love it. I wanted to buy it in Paris to mark my 40th, but if it had not been an event like that, you could have got one of these with savings on the resale market. Next number, and I'm really not keeping count by now, but it is the Chanel boy bag. And here is my version. Out of the Chanel bags that you can get, the boy doesn't really hold its value all that well. This is the Paris Salzburg collection, I believe. This is a limited edition. It has the top handle. It has the braiding around it, which is burgundy and which is fabulous, and which is probably what drew me to this bag at the time. It has the gunmetal hardware. The boy bag just doesn't hold its money as well as the other Chanel classics. This is one, and I said this in a recent video, I don't know which will come out first, but this is a bag that I would maybe consider selling. And I know one of my best friends and my cousin is shouting at me right now, but I just don't use it that much, and I now have so many beautiful bags that I know I just don't use it that much, so I would maybe consider selling it. This one I think holds its value slightly better because it's the limited edition and it has the top handle, but in general the boy I don't think is fabulous for resale value. Next, again from my own collection, this is great fun. How much money have I lost over the years? No, let's not do that. Okay, let's stick to the bags. The Chanel Gabrielle. Now, I really love this bag too, and I love the big tacky strap that I paid extra to get on it, and I don't regret buying the big tacky strap because I like a little bit of tack. I also love the chains on this. I love the zipper on it. I love the aged gold hardware. This one particularly, I love the colour of. I love that it's burgundy. I really, really love this bag. Probably not one of my most used bags, if I am completely honest, but it doesn't really hold its resale value all that well compared to Chanel. Obviously, Chanel bags in general will hold their resale value quite well compared to other brands, but out of the Chanel styles and versions, this would be one of the ones that holds a less percentage of its resale value, and I would probably lose a bit if I sold this on the resale market. The next bag I actually don't have, but I think it's quite interesting, and it is the Jumbo version of this. So the Chanel Classic Flap in the Jumbo. I have personally never bought one because I am 5'1". I know Just Lou actually has the Jumbo one, is about my height and loves it. I personally feel it looks a little bit big on me. I feel that the strap is too long for crossbody, whereas this unaltered is too short. I just don't feel that it really works for me, for my style, and for how I would wear it. There does seem to be, and the trend predictors are saying that big bags are coming back. For me, probably I'll still just wear what I love, which is smaller bags. I still don't think a Jumbo would be for me. Even with that prediction that big bags are coming back, the Jumbo still doesn't seem to hold its money as well as other Chanel bags, especially in the smaller sizes. And the Jumbo, if you're looking for one, you can pick up a Jumbo in really good condition. And I've had a look at these on the resale market. You can get one in really, really good condition for quite a considerable saving. And the last bag from my shelves I'm going to talk about hurts my soul. It hurts my soul. Not that I would be dramatic, but it hurts my soul because I love it so much, and it is the Louis Vuitton Capucine. This one is sitting here today because it's actually the bag I'm using today. I know some people are going to think, are you nuts? That bag, and there's my cup of tea beside it that I don't want to spill on it. But I know, here, you see, liquid beside the bags. I know there are going to be some people thinking, are you nuts? But you can see that she's packed up. There's everything inside her. She is my bag of the day. I just think she's so pretty, and it would be a shame to buy bags, and I don't buy bags to just sit in this room. She's being used. This is the other one. There is the magenta one in there somewhere. You can maybe see, I think, is that the handle poking out behind that petite mal. I love these bags in the mini size. Now, I've talked in videos before about the annoying parts of them because we're well-rounded on this channel, and there are things about them that annoy me, but it would not stop me buying them. It would not put me off. What might put me off slightly more is the rather large price increase they just had. These went up on average £7,800 for the Capucines mini. Ouch, overnight in one go. Ouch. But in general, they do not have great resale value, and that was some of the commentary I did see in some of the videos people had put out about the price increase from Louis Vuitton. There were people saying that the Capucines already doesn't really hold its resale value that well. So with that huge jump in the price of them, they wouldn't be prepared to buy it at that price because it doesn't hold its value. And if it doesn't work out for you, you're going to lose a good part of your money. Hurts my soul because I adore this bag and the magenta one and that one. I just love it. I think it's such a fabulous bag, but let's be realistic. It might be a fabulous bag. It might be beautiful. I might love it, but it really doesn't hold its value. And it is now a very expensive bag. It is now over £4,000 to £5,000 depending on what size you're looking for. And you can get them on the resale market. If you can get the style and the version that you want, you can get them on the resale market for a savings. Now, the one thing I caveat that by saying is the mini size in this, which is this one, is a newer version than the Capucines in, say, this one, which is the BB. There are not as many of these in the mini size on the resale market. These are significantly harder to find. Steph from Handbagaholic just bought two. She initially was saying when she bought two, should I keep one or keep both? I was screaming at her, keep both, because they were stunning. And it was pre-price increase. And she did keep both because they're such fabulous bags. And these are quite hard to find on the resale market. So I don't know if you're going to get the same saving on the mini, but you're certainly going to get a saving if you're willing to go for the bigger sizes. Those are the bags in my collection, ouch, which I don't really think would hold that great of a resale value. They still might be 60, 70%, but at bags at this price, that's a huge amount of money that you're losing. Some of them, for example, these that I bought before the price increase is always going to help you if you, that sounds silly, but it's always going to help you if you're later selling a bag that has then increased since you bought it. That's something. They still hurt, but it's a fact. Okay, that is the bags in my collection that I think probably would lose me money. We've had a quick look at what I think would hold its money. I hope if you're looking to buy bags or you're interested in any of these, that this is a little bit helpful for you. If you have enjoyed this, please do give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being here. Please take care, and I will see you again in the next one.